in terms of marginalization. This is a country that has survived going to 50 years after the Civil War, and people were given £20 no matter how much you had in the bank, and they survived with that £20 and are still standing. These were people that were promised rehabilitation, reconciliation, reconstruction, and all those were practiced in the breach. 50 years after, we are still fighting in the parliament for a Southeast Commission to do those three things that were promised after the Civil War in 1970. This is a people who, in the last election, showed that they have the population to vote in a president for Nigeria. Now, recently, the gentleman who was championing Oduduwa Republic and was incarcerated in a neighboring country has been released and is free and is traveled abroad. Now, Nnamdi Kanu, who was also championing the creation of Biafra, has been kidnapped, incarcerated, even after the courts have said that he has no case to answer. The Igbo see it as further telling them that they are second-class citizens in their own country, and there is a different treatment for them as compared to others. These same Igbos made their own contributions, which in no way you can say is inferior to the contribution of any other part of Nigeria for the independence of our country. These are people who are they are lucky that God created them with the spirit of enterprise. And you have seen what I've done with their £20. Go around Nigeria and tell me how many cities you will see that are as well developed as, even let's take the state capitals. Not to talk about going to the hinterland in Igbo land and see the mansions that enterprise has created. So the country has refused to use these people for the growth of the country's economy. If they allowed the Igbos to thrive and to influence others positively, rather than hounding them wherever they are, I think the country would have developed faster and better. Igbos created Lagos, Igbos created Abuja, Igbos created Kaduna, Kano, most of the country, Port Harcourt. And when you have such people, it is the country for the country to use them to the country's advantage and not to continue to suppress them. So we feel very, very unhappy in the Nigerian state. But what we promised Nigerians is that we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We'll be here until we reap the full benefits of our contribution in building this nation. It is either a magnanimous, detribalized leader gives us what is our due, or by the grace of God, when we get there, well, if the current mantra is the only way people can get their due in Nigeria, when it is our turn, we'll see whether we produce an Igbo leader that will also follow that mantra and give the Igbos what they deserve in Nigeria. But we are not begging for pittance. We are not begging for something that we don't deserve. We are not begging that what belongs to anybody should be given to us. No, give us the freedom to be equal partners with every member of this nation. Allow us to grow and thrive freely in our own country, and allow us to occupy positions that are valuable to every citizen of this country to occupy. So in a nutshell, we're asking for equity. We're asking for fairness. We're asking for justice in Nigeria. That's all. Nothing more than that. As long as we have these three, equity, fairness, justice, an Igbo man will thrive even in Iceland.